let's talk about intuition. Again, a subject that I'm deeply fascinated with. I've had moments of my own intuition that's almost freaked me out. And then at times I feel like it's just vanished and I don't have any. And it's just like clouds and I just can't see what I'm meant to be doing or what the answers are. And you say in the book that, you know, it's our intuition has been sort of stripped away from us to an extent. And we're almost encouraged to numb it. And we don't even know we're numbing it. But the modern world supports that notion of, you don't need your own intuition. Actually, you use the example of overnight oats in the book, which I thought was brilliant. That everybody's like, you're meant to have overnight oats. So we go, oh yeah, I'll do overnight oats. And you wake up and think, this is fucking disgusting. Yeah. This is like some weird sloppy gloop that they would serve in school. Like, why am I eating this?
I was like bloated constantly. And I was like, why am I bloated all the time? It's like, it's the bloody overnight oats. I was like, why did I start doing that? Because every clean eating book said to eat overnight oats. Yeah. And then I realized, well, so many of those books, right, are someone who's trying to heal from a condition or who has an intolerance to something. And I was like, but I don't have an intolerance to anything. Yeah. So why have I now stripped back every single food group from my diet? And it was such an important connection for me to make with intuition because I realized that we just do things on autopilot according to somebody else's truth. And we've not sat back and checked in and worked out, are they making me feel good or not? And I think when we're used to being overstressed and depleted and bloated, we just think, well, cool, that's just the pain we suffer. Yeah. And we forget to check in and work out, well, maybe before I started eating that, I wasn't feeling this way. So maybe for me, that's a no.
Yeah, maybe I'll just eat bread like I always do before bread became like the enemy.
I miss bread.
I eat bread all the time.
I wish I could.
I go with IBS. Is that where we're going with this?
So for my MS diet, I don't have any gluten.
You can't have it.
And it was just...
Oh my God, gluten-free bread's not the same.
I don't even waste my time with it.
No, don't. I really wouldn't. Rye bread, is that an option?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, I'm very much just
Smells
like...
good.
I just think that, you know, sometimes with, you know, even when we have conditions or intolerances, it becomes so fear-based. It's like, if I eat the sourdough, I might die. Yeah. And it's like, no, I'm going to be just fine. Because it's a lifestyle choice, right? And I think when it's a lifestyle choice, we'll ebb and flow in between sourdoughing and not sourdoughing. So...
I'm really enjoying all the bread metaphors that we're throwing about here. No, it's so true. And again, because people with natural intuition, whether they are called medium, clairsentient, whatever it might be, are often seen as sort of like wonderful freaks of nature. Yeah. And I've got great friends that do those roles. And I'm like, how are you doing it? This is amazing. You know, like there's these special humans that have been born with this skill. We've all got it to varying degrees, but we're just taught to not tap into it. And that it would be a weird thing to have some sort of psychic experience, or it would be a coincidence. Like that wasn't you having any intuition. That was just a like random coincidence. But we've all got it there. So how have you learned to cultivate it, to tap into it, and to use it for your work?
Yeah, and I think I just want to say, like, you know, not to break any hearts, but intuition's not a gift. It's not very special to have it. We all have it. Yeah. It's the same as having a toe. And we just don't connect to it. So I think, you know, even for me, when people call me, you're an intuitive, I'm like, we have the same level of intuition. I'm just more connected to mine. And only because it's my job to, so I spend a lot of time harnessing it. That's the only difference. You know, when I worked in fashion, I didn't have time to do that. So I felt just as disconnected as everyone else did. So the only difference is time and space. And that's the answer to how we cultivate it. And I think the first step is realizing that intuition is not the same for everyone. So I think we spoke about this when we spoke about your book, that the same with like energy, we all feel it to different degrees, the same with our intuition. So for me, as I said, in sessions, I might just get streams of consciousness. So I just like know stuff. For you, it just might be feeling things. So in your book, you said your shoulder was hurting you. And that could be a sign of, I just know I'm really stressed today. So it's going to look very different. So I think we assume that everyone's a clairvoyant, which is seeing things. And we're like, well, unless I have, you know, really vivid dreams or visions, then I'm not intuitive enough. And it's like, I don't really see many things, but I'm still intuitive. So I think it's giving yourself the freedom to know that it's going to look very different for you.
So when you have a stream of consciousness, are you hearing something? Is it just arrives? I'm intrigued to sort of understand how you experience that.
So sometimes if I'm like doing a meditation, I'll just have this urge to start writing something, and I'll just be like frantically scribbling. And it's like there's not really like a connection between, oh, I've heard something, I'm now going to write it. It's like my hands just like take over. And when I look back at what I've written, I'm like, this is not my voice. I do not speak like this.
Wow.
And, you know, that's why I channeled the whole book. It was just streams of consciousness that I then sat with. I think I've got like 30,000 word document on my computer of just nonsense. And then just really sitting with that, taking it in quite literally, and then, you know, channeling into human speak and making it accessible. But yeah, like some people have that as the way they connect to their intuition or to spirit, and other people it is seeing things. So in a meditation, it's like, what do you feel the most? Do you tend to see colours, or are you feeling, you know, your tummy aching or tingling? Are you hearing things? Are you smelling things? And that's just all these beautiful like nods and nudges and signs of how we can connect to something.
And again, does that, you know, do we start, like, if someone out there is thinking, I've never felt a drop of intuition in my entire life, is the first thing to sort of have the awareness of that? Because, again, we're numbed to such a degree with TV, social media, how much we're on our devices, and that is just us feeling not only disconnected from other people, but from ourselves, and then one level deeper, our intuition. And then I guess not beating yourself up if it's not like the first time you sit there. You know, if nothing arrives, fine. It's a practice. It's something that you have to check in with a lot.
For sure, and it doesn't have to be, you know, like a very meditative situation. So if you're going to pray every single day, then ask yourself what you want. I think we all have the same orders in the same coffee shops continuously, and we just don't check in. So like, yeah, I'll just have the same coffee with, you know, the same syrup every single day. So tomorrow do something different. And I think, you know, we go into that coffee shop and we just check in with ourselves first and say, what do I want right now? And if the answer is, actually, you know what, I'm really warm, so maybe I'll have a cold drink instead. That's your intuition working. And it's that simple. And the more that we can live that way, the more we're just like saying to ourselves, I trust you. Because we only actually want to speak to our intuition when shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so
it's an SOS.
100%. It's like, hey, it's me. And your intuition's like, you have not spoken to me.
Yeah.
In years.
You've been ignoring me for so long, as if I'm going to pop up now with the words you need to hear.
Exactly. It's like in these like really big moments of like, should I move cities? We think we'll just have the answer. But it is just like those really small things of, you know, choosing between a coffee and a smoothie every morning that signals to ourselves, I can trust you. And until we can foster that trust, there's just no benefit.
It's trust, isn't it? Because I think most people, we don't trust ourselves. No. And again, it goes back to the overnight oats. We're so used to everyone telling us what the hell to do that we think, I don't know. I need someone to tell me what to eat and what to drink and what to do and what to wear and where to go and where to live. And we just don't check in. And again, something's just sparked my memory from another part of the book where you're writing about, even if it's awful situations in our life or relationships that we find very troubling or a job that we don't like or whatever it might be. So much of this stuff is habit and we just don't realise it, but we go back to the bad stuff because it feels safe. And I can see that in my own life, stuff that I find challenging. I know I'm a bit stuck in and I feel safe in that because the alternative, obviously, is to do things differently, which is terrifying to all humans. We don't like change. We don't want to embrace newness because we assume it's going to be more tiring or we have to expel more energy because it's all new and whatever. And a lot of it's habit. It's bad habit.
It is. And I think it's just knowing that, you know, like the book title says, you know, create your best damn life. But your stuff doesn't want you to create your best damn life out of fear. So when we're always saying, like, oh, I'm going to make these big choices, when they come, we're like, you know what? I'm good. I don't want to do that. So even for some people, it's like doing a podcast interview, is their whole body saying, you can't do that. You're going to be really dumb at that. What if you don't get any words coming out? So you say, yep, actually, I can't make that. So then what happens, right? No one gets to hear your voice and your magic. You don't get to rise or to shine. So there's like constant cycles of saying no to amazing things because we're too scared to do them.
Yeah.
Because there's so much safety in the same thing.